afternoon in Belize, good afternoon in Jamaica, and good evening if you are in the Eastern Caribbean. And welcome to part 2 of the UWI Open Campus Recruitment Fairs 2021. My name is Cleveland Sam. I am going to be your moderator this evening or this afternoon, depending on where you are in the Caribbean. And we hope that you are tuned in to receive all of the information you need in order to make the decision to join us here at the UWI Open Campus in the upcoming semester, or indeed in a semester next year. So last week, part 1 of our fair, we looked at our short courses, what we call the continuing and professional education courses. And this evening, we're going to be looking at the longer courses where we look at some of our associate degrees, postgraduate diplomas and certificates, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral programs. And of course, you have the opportunity to ask questions, to seek clarification, and our colleagues on the social media will be responding to those. We also are going to be having a question and answer segment after all of the presentations. And of course, you can send through your questions on Facebook, on YouTube, as well as on Twitter. And we will try our best to answer those questions for you. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first presenter, and her name is Miss Nicole Welsh, and she is an instructional development coordinator, and she's going to tell you a bit more about what she's going to be presenting to you right about now. Good evening, Nicole.
Good evening, Cleveland, and good evening, viewers. Thank you so much for joining us for the second day of our online recruitment fair. We've prepared a package filled with information regarding our programs and our approach to teaching and learning at the Open Campus. We'll share testimonies from some of our students as well as facilitators. Additionally, we'll let you know if prerequisites are required and what remedial courses that are available. We have so much to share with you this evening and will do so shortly. Please get your pen and paper or open your virtual notepad because we want you to make note of the areas of interest, whether it's for you or a friend, family member, or colleague. Also, feel free to ask us any questions in the live chat on Facebook or YouTube. Our team is on standby and ready to assist. If preferred, you may email us. We'll share our contact information throughout the presentation. We now invite you to sit back and relax as we share information about what's in store for you at the Open Campus. Hello. And thank you for joining us on the second day of the University of the West Indies Open Campus Recruitment Fair. My name is Nicole Welsh, and I'm an Instructional Development Coordinator from within the Academic Programming and Delivery Division, also known as APAD. Joining me as co-presenter is Cheryl Williams-Davis, a program manager also from within APAD. During this presentation, we're going to share information about the division and the support we provide to our students. We will also highlight some of the online programs and courses available through the Open Campus. APAD is made up of 2 departments: Online Programming and Production Department and the Online Programs Delivery Department. When you join the Open Campus as a student, you will interact with the team responsible for course delivery and receive support in 3 areas: academic, technical, and social. This support is provided throughout your learning journey with the Open Campus. In this part of the presentation, we'll share snapshot information regarding our online certificates, diplomas, programs, workshops, and special access courses. We have several in-demand certificates. However, Today, we will focus on the certificates in criminology, human resource management, and tourism hospitality management in the Caribbean. The certificate in criminology is intended for persons wishing to gain entrance into the field. This certificate is also suitable for entry-level professionals, first-line supervisors, and mid-career professionals. Law enforcement as well as criminal justice professionals in promotional opportunities or career changes may also be interested in this certificate. Some of the comments from students about the certificate in criminology include, "This program has broadened my skills and knowledge in the field of criminology. I have had a wonderful learning experience and covered some topics that have really interested me. I would greatly recommend this course to persons employed under the judicial system, police officers, and crime scene investigating officers." One of the facilitators also mentioned some benefits of pursuing the certificate. "I have seen how the study of criminology as a discipline transforms lives and promotes social justice. If you are someone who wants a taster in crime investigation, this course is what you need. This course allows you to try it out and see the science." Our next featured certificate is in the area of human resource management. This certificate is for mature learners who are looking to gain entrance into the field. Potential students may include professionals and first-line to upper-level supervisors, managers, heads of organizations, and self-employed individuals. Here's what two of our students have said about the certificate in human resource management. "This program has helped me tremendously. Presently, my workplace wants me to hold a human resource manager position. I am now interested in pursuing a bachelor's degree in HRM. My learning experience was actually better than I expected." Our final featured certificate is the certificate in tourism hospitality management in the Caribbean. This online certificate affords the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world, whether it be home or office. The feedback regarding the certificate in tourism hospitality management has been very positive. This program was quite informative and eventful. The learning experience provided was quite adequate, and I believe its workload was fair and beneficial. I am now considering doing a BSc in international tourism. No matriculation requirements are associated with the featured certificates. However, applicants are expected to have competency in the use of computers for word processing to store and retrieve information. Applicants should be able to access email and surf the web. You should also be able to read and write at a level necessary to complete an open campus application form. If you believe you are not sufficiently computer literate, you may gain such proficiency by taking the appropriate course of study offered by the Open Campus IT Academy, available at your nearest Open Campus site. For further information regarding the featured certificates, please visit open.ue.edu. We also offer Associate of Science degrees in Paralegal Studies, Administrative Professional Office Management, Business Management, and Social Work. However, in this presentation, we're focusing on the ASC Paralegal Studies. The ASC PALS program is specifically designed for persons interested in working as paralegals or currently working in secretarial or administrative capacities in law firms or legal departments. This program provides an overall understanding of the Commonwealth's Caribbean legal system. To find out more about the ASC PALS and the UWE-OC's Associate Degree programs, please visit the link on your screen. Our online diploma programs cover areas such as public sector administration, health and family life education, social services, social work, and youth development. If you or someone you know would like to jumpstart their career in the public sector, then the Diploma in Public Sector Administration is the perfect fit. This program was designed to provide an academic foundation and specialized training for public sector staff. To enter this program, applicants must meet one of three criteria: over age 21 or hold an approved certificate from the School of Continuing Studies, or 3 CSEC or O-level subjects including English A. Additional information is available at the link provided.
Hi future students, I'm Sherry Williams Davis. Now that you've heard about some of our fabulous certificate, associates, and diploma programs, let me give you an overview of the world-renowned bachelor's programs which you can choose to pursue. For your ease of selection, we have grouped them according to some of your possible areas of interest. These include education, finance and business, management, social sciences, and sports. Have a passion for teaching and learning? Then we have a myriad of degree programs that may match your career aspirations. Take, for example, our Bachelor's of Education degrees in Literacy Studies, Secondary English, or Mathematics. Not to be left out are Early Childhood Practitioners. You may also pursue a bachelorate degree in Early Childhood Development and Family Studies. At the completion of any chosen area of study, you'll be a trained graduate teacher, equipped to be specialists in the chosen subject area. But are you seeking leadership opportunities in education? Probably being a leader in an educational institution may be your area of interest, and you seek exceptional training to pursue those dreams. Then consider our BEd in Educational Leadership and Management. If you want to focus your career on increasing financial health of individuals, companies, or financial institutions, a Bachelor's of Science degree in accounting or economics can prepare you for success. Furthermore, how about a BSc in banking and finance? Having such a degree from this prestigious university is sure to have you on your way to success in the banking industry. Moreover, there are two options: Banking and Finance Special or Banking and Finance with a minor in Compliance and Corporate Governance. The degrees previously listed may not be what you're seeking. How about earning a Bachelor's of Science degree in Management? You can consider our BSc in Management Studies. You can also minor in Economics. Still in the area of management, you can study Human Resource Management, Tourism and Hospitality Management, Entrepreneurship, Financial Management, International Management, and Marketing. Wow, what a list! Even though it was a mouthful to say, I'm super excited about the options. thought we were through? No, we have so much more in store. There are a wide range of social science degrees that can suit your needs. Whether psychology or sociology, there are programs in which you can major in those areas. But with a degree in social work, you will be nurtured to demonstrate an understanding of core theories and practices in social work through new ways of thinking and learning. But with great enthusiasm, I want to introduce you to the Bachelor's of Science in Youth Development Work and Youth Development Work with a minor in Management Studies. So, why would you want to be among the elite group of specialists in youth development? With youth development being given greater international priority, qualifications in this area will aid in your efforts to support the development of our region's youth. Whether you are a youth worker or a volunteer, or probably you just support youth development in your current job role, I assure you that a youth development degree puts you on that career path in the private sector or government service. Last but definitely not least on the list of undergraduate programs is our degrees in BSc Sport Coaching, Sport Kinetics, and Sport Leadership and Management. Our colleagues from the Academy of Sports will provide more details regarding the programs and course offerings later on in the fair. With all the options laid out, we know that making a decision will also be influenced by whether or not you have the requirements to begin the program. For entry requirements, please visit our website where you can browse all the programs and get further information to help you in making the wise decision about the program to study with the Open Campus. Not to worry if you believe you do not have the subject requirements listed. We have also the prior assessment unit, which can be of great assistance to you. Let me not say too much, as a representative from the unit will provide you with more encouraging information further on in the fair. Now let's talk about cost. We boast some of the most cost-effective programs which complement the benefits of studying online. Our baccalaureate programs are 90 credits each at US $360 per 3-credit course or US $120 per credit. You can pace your studies to match your budget. Now is the time to level up. We have postgraduate offerings related to the same categories as identified above. However, in this section, we have decided to highlight the postgraduate diploma in health research and epidemiology. This postgraduate diploma was designed for the working health practitioner, and on completion, you will have a fully accredited diploma. The target group for this program include clinicians such as doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and other health care providers, allied health professionals, academics or researchers, in addition to administrators and policymakers engaged in the sector of healthcare. Some of the courses in this program include Fundamentals of Epidemiology and Introduction to Statistics and Computing. The program could be completed in 12 months or up to 3 years. Specially admitted students may pursue individual courses such as one per semester. Students may also transfer credits before the completion of the program to other programs offered by the Caribbean Institute for Health Research, for instance, the MSc in Epidemiology. For additional information regarding the application process for this postgrad degree, visit our website. You may also continue watching the engagement fair as our colleagues provide step-by-step instructions regarding how to apply.
Thus far, the majority of information we've shared applies to regional students. However, international students may also apply for entry into 12 of our online programs. If you're from Guyana, St. Martin, Suriname, North America, Africa, or other locations, then select the relevant visa site when completing your online application. We've also included information regarding the tuition costs. The visa programs include 3 certificates, 2 diplomas, and 4 undergraduate programs. The postgraduate programs for international students include a graduate diploma in disaster risk management, an MA in English language, as well as the Master of Education in Teaching and Learning with Emerging Technologies, also referred to as TLET. The TLET programs include specializations in teaching and learning, instructional technology, and curriculum quality. The main contacts for international students are the Assistant Registrar, Alicia Walters Archie, and Ingrid Campbell, Senior Administrative Assistant. During our previous recruitment fair, we mentioned that our online teacher training workshop was coming soon. Since then, we've launched a workshop which include 3 core modules: preparing for online instruction, teaching and learning technologies, and engaging students online. A nice feature of this workshop is that we can tailor the modules to suit your organization's needs and also design additional modules. The final group of online courses we're going to highlight are called Access courses. This suite of courses are coming soon and include study skills, foundations mathematics, digital literacy, computer and reading skills, communication, and use of English. These courses are considered remedial, therefore no prerequisites required. If you've never attempted an online course, then you may use an Access course to get your virtual feet wet with the support of an experienced team of online educators. Thank you for joining us for this part of the recruitment fair. If you would like to find out more about a course or program, then email apad@open.ue.edu. You may also visit our website at open.ue.edu. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole, and our colleagues from APAD. We really want to thank you for that presentation. And already you have generated a few questions in the Facebook chat. So we will come back to those questions as we get to the Q&A segment of the presentation. But right about now, we are going to bring a representative from our Recruitment, Admissions and Registration Department, and her name is Kimberly Brown. And Kimberly, good evening.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam.
All right, so we're gonna go over to you for you to tell us about the administration, the admissions process, and any other information you want to present this evening.
Sure. Well, first let me introduce myself. My name is Kimberly Brown, and I am from Recruitment, Admissions and Registration Department, and I will be presenting the application process. So you might ask yourselves, what is needed in order to apply to the UWI Open Campus? There are generally 2 things that are needed in order to apply. That is a computer and a reliable internet connection. The second question you might ask yourself is, how do you apply? So there are generally 7 steps in the application process. The first step is you log on to our website, which is apply.open.uwi.com. You create an account with us, you log into that account, you fill out all the steps and procedures or the mandatory indicators on our online application form. You complete the application form, you submit that application form, you submit your supporting documents. Well, supporting documents will be described further down in the presentation. Step 6, you track your application. And lastly, when you receive an offer, you complete the offer reply form, which is generally located in the link provided in the offer letter. This is a brief depiction or description of the application process.
Hi, Kimberly. You just need to share the audio as well.
Come back to the video.
Okay.
All right, so the supporting documents that are required are your signed application receipt, right? When you submit your signed application receipt, you have to attach your passport size photo, a proof of identification. The proof of identification consists of your birth paper, a valid passport or a national ID card, a marriage certificate, if applicable, and academic certificates. Academic certificates consist of your CSET passes, your CAPE or A-level passes, your any certificates you may have attained prior to applying to UWI Open Campus, any bachelor's degree program you may have attained as well, any master's degree program. More supporting documents that are required is your official transcript. Well, this is generally applicable to those persons who apply to do postgraduate programs. You submit an official transcript through the website provided, which is graduate@open.uwi.edu. But please remember, this is generally for those persons who are non-UE graduates. 2 referee reports are also needed. Again, this is applicable to the postgraduate program applicants. And lastly, test of English as a foreign language, and this is only applicable to those persons where English is not their native language. So you might ask yourself as well, how do you submit your documents? Your documents could be submitted in 3 ways. For regional applicants, documents could be submitted through their site office located in their country. For international applicants, documents could be, their notarized documents could be submitted through this email address provided, which is viso@open.uwi.com, and all applicants must submit their notarized documents through these 2 email addresses. And for undergraduate programs, you submit it to undergraduate@open.uwi.edu. And for graduate or postgraduate program applicants, you submit it through graduate@open.uwi.edu. Important dates to remember for those persons who are interested in starting their program in August 2021, we are kindly asking that you please submit your documents on or before these 2 dates provided. For postgraduate programs, please submit your document on or before July the 11th. And for undergraduate programs, please submit your documents on or before July 16th. Just to provide a recap of the admissions process, the first thing you need to ensure that you complete and submit your online application. You submit all your supporting documents through the various channels provided earlier in the presentation, you track your application, you accept. Yeah, once you track your application and your offer letter is received, you accept that offer, and that's it. Thank you. If you have any questions, colleagues in the background willing to take questions and answers.
Thank you so much, Kimberly, for your presentation. And as you said, some of your colleagues will be on with us for the question and answer segment, as well as we're encouraging you, if you're listening, if you're viewing on YouTube or Facebook, to put your questions in the comment section and they will be answered this evening during the Q&A. All right, moving right along. At this time, we are going to go to a testimonial. So you have heard from two of my colleagues. Now you're going to actually hear from a student who has had the experience at the Open Campus.
Hi, my name is Sharon Roberts. I am a graduate of the University of the West Indies Open Campus in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, my journey at Open Campus was a challenging learning experience. However, it's had a meaningful impact in that I was able to further develop myself as an individual with regards to learning how to balance and prioritize everyday life situations, social life, along with academics. I would encourage prospective students to study at the Open Campus. For one, it is very flexible. It allows you to have a full-time job, work, while engaging with your family and also pursuing your dream. Two, it is affordable as compared to other universities. And three, the quality of work, it provides first-class education, which allows you to compete on a global scale.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our site in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for that testimonial. And you can be like that student come September, August this year to experience what it is like to study at the UWI Open Campus. All right, in our first presentation, you heard about the Open Campus Academy of Sport, and they're here this evening to give you more details about their programs. And I want to introduce Mr. Corvin Jean, who is the head of the Open Campus Academy of Sport, and he will be assisted by Janessa Gordon. Good evening, Corvin.
Good evening, Dr. Sam.
All right. So you can go ahead and make the presentation on behalf of OCAS.
Okay, Sharice, could you just load my presentation, please? Thank you. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Open Campus Academy of Sport. And as our slide suggests, come study with us. What you'll find, we have an interesting sport academy that we will share with you. The academy has 7 staff members. It's headed by myself, Mr. Kelvinger. Ms. Janessa Gordon, will Dr. Sam just hinted to, who can be with us this evening, is the administrative assistant. There is also Mr. Roger Watts, who's our academic programs officer. Ms. Dina Smith, our sport activity development officer, Mr. Akim Dua, and also Mr. Charlton Ali, sport activity development assistants. And Mr. Dua doubles as the regional sports coordinator for the Faculty of Sport. And we have sports clerk, Mr. Archie Leiber, all of which come together to offer our sports students holistic and experiential opportunity to learn as well as practice. And about the UCAS, we are part of the recently launched UWI Faculty of Sport. The faculty, as you know, is made up of 4 academies: the St. Augustine, the K-Ville, the Mona, and the Open Campus Academy of Sport. At the Open Campus, we tend to focus on grassroots sports development, our mission being to champion grassroots sports development in the UB14 through the development integration and implementation of realistic and relevant sporting policy. And our vision is to serve as an inter-regional institution working with various ministries with the responsibility for sport to identify sporting needs, develop the national sporting frameworks and infrastructure, which will enable them to achieve their policy mandate through measurable and impactful sport development. And what that goes to say is that we work with the regional governments to try to identify what the needs are, both academic, technical, as well as across the 3 areas of outreach, events, and policy to assist them with their developmental aspiration with regards to sport. Next slide, please. And what we do at the OCAS, as I would have hinted before, we have academic and technical program development and delivery. So your BScs, we're currently working on a slew of master's programs for developmental pathway for our students. I will delve in that a bit further. We partner with sporting organizations and groups to render assistance, both in strategic planning, identification of developmental frameworks, as well as strategic planning. We also assist in event planning, coordination, and management. We work with various ministries and countries with regards to sport policy development, implementation, its management, and its integration. We also conduct market research and analysis. We do consultations for various sporting organizations and sports serving bodies. We try to work with primary and secondary schools as well. And we work with sport expansion and promotion of regional conducive sport forms. Just to add a little bit, we tend to focus in the Caribbean on looking for infrastructure, whereas we have the natural environment that facilitates or is conducive to a number of sport forms like beach volleyball, sand soccer, rugby, and the likes of which. So we tend to focus on those as well. And again, in terms of transitioning from what we do to how we do it, we have academic and technical sports programming, and we'll go into this a bit shortly. We also provide workshops and seminars. We also take some of our courses from our sport programs and deliver them via professional workshops and seminars, like the one that is currently being held, well, that will be held, the sport broadcasting certificate workshop, which we will share with you in a bit. We also have activities and outreach. Again, some of these I will be sharing with you all in terms of those we have conducted. And we also focus on events as well, sporting events and rendering assistance in that regard. So our current sport programs, we have 4 BSc programs running currently. We have a BSc in sports kinetics, and that is geared towards scientific study for those individuals who want to pursue higher education. It focuses on the key components in terms of manufacturing or developing elite athletes, athlete movements, biomechanics, and the like. The second one, the BSc in sports coaching, focuses on administrative support as well as capacity for existing coaches or persons who want to pursue future in coaching. The BSc Sport Leadership and Management are for or is targeting sport managers or persons in administrative position within sporting administrations who want to, I would say, level up or add greater depth to their experience and also their skill sets. The BSc Sport and Physical Literacy is our newest addition, and that is geared towards individuals who are involved in physical education at the primary and secondary school level, as well as the tertiary levels. So what it focuses on those individuals or teachers who come from a teaching background who don't necessarily have that sporting background, and also vice versa, those individuals who work within the field who are knowledgeable in sport but don't have the necessary teaching education. So this degree targets those individuals to provide them with a holistic approach towards teaching physical education in schools, but also to have the component of physical literacy adopted, which is basically lifelong sport for longevity and wellness. We also have a certificate in physical education, and that is currently being reviewed for offer in Trinidad and Tobago, and then on towards the rest of the Caribbean. And I would have mentioned the sport broadcasting, which is a professional certificate. That one will be starting the second cohort on the 21st of this month. So that is our current programs. Next slide, please. And in terms of what next, and I would have mentioned earlier in terms of developing pathways for advancement for our current students enrolled in the 4 BScs that I would have just referenced. So we do have a swimming and life-saving professional certificate course that we are developing. We have been working with Trinidad and Tobago Life Saving Society as well as the Ministry of National Security Lifeguard Division to refine this certificate. So that will be on offer. We also working on a MSc Sport Analytics with specialization in data analysis and sport performance analysis. We're also the MSc in Sport Tourism, Recreation and Fitness Management and MSc Sport Technology and Innovation. There is an applied MSc that will be coming as well. I think the targeted date is the academic year 2023, and that is applied sport development, where we look at a hands-on approach towards sport development throughout the region, identifying the key components that are needed and how we, just to help us and shape their view of what sport development really is. The previous ones, the data analytics, that speaks for itself. We tend to take a somewhat normative approach towards our sport development. So the sport data analytics, is geared towards assisting individuals, especially coaches and other individuals within the operational side of sport, identify the need to take a more scientific approach towards analyzing the information that we receive in sport, and that is towards improving our performance regionally. Sport tourism, recreation, fitness, and management. We do have a number of sport tourism initiatives, as well as a plethora of, I would say, small business startups with regards to personal trainers and fitness management, gyms, and what have you. That MSc targets those managers or those chairpersons or CEOs of those companies to try to help them not only expand the business, but a more managerial and hands-on approach to catering to the Caribbean diaspora. And likewise, the MSc Sport Technology and Innovation, we look at what is going on in the region. We look at where we are at in terms of the use of technology and innovation in sport and expanding our width, getting the resources that we need to not just only focus on just athlete performances, but providing our athletes with the necessary technology that they need that would increase their performance and thereby increase our chances of getting medals on the world and the international stage. So that is what you may look forward to in the next coming years with regards to our sport programming. So we already have the BScs, and these are the MScs that you can look forward to in the next 2 years. Now, you might say, why should I choose the Open Campus Academy of Sport as opposed to one of the other academies? At the OCAS, we focus on holistic experiential learning. We have a cadre of knowledgeable sport administrators, individuals who have vast experience in the field of sport. And in studying with us, you have access to those individuals, and those individuals will be working with you, not only as it relates to being part of our virtual teams, but being part of our sporting teams as well, but also access to those individuals for practicums and other coaching aspects as well. We have engagement on virtual teams and special projects as we work with the various governments and other organizations, sport serving bodies within the region. Our students get an opportunity to get experience. So whether it be we're working on a policy or working on a strategic document for a particular sports serving body, we create virtual teams comprised with our students, so they not only get the theoretical knowledge, but also the hands-on and practical experience of applying what they know as well. Sport development and team development, you will see photos of the various sporting teams that are, I won't say hosted, but we participate in a number of tournaments. So you will see those and you have the opportunity to be part of that, as well as sport development within the region based on the various projects that we are involved in. Student games representation, and if you're familiar with UE, you know every 2 years there are student games, and as with the other campuses, the Open Campus has its own team to represent. So there is that opportunity for individuals to take part in disciplines such as football, basketball, volleyball, swimming, hockey, and a plethora of other sports. Again, I would have mentioned access to a cadre of qualified sport administrators. We have a very robust team that you can gain access to not only assist you with your sport development needs, but in terms of just getting knowledge and experience, you can tap into that, that reservoir, so to speak. So that assists you not only in your theory, but also in the practical side of things. And special tutelage and hands-on knowledge transfer, we work with our students. So if you have a problem, you bring it to the fore and we work with you to address it. At the Academy, it is our job to ensure that when you come into any one of our programs, that you succeed. And that is what we provide a support for. Next slide, please. So in terms of our extracurricular activities, we do have our student competitions. We do have across the landed campuses where it's easier to coordinate those students. We also try to include some of the smaller islands in terms of getting students across when the opportunity presents itself. So we would have had individuals from St. Vincent coming to Trinidad to take part in the FISU games in our netball competition where the team plays second. And also we would have been working with basketball and also football. We do, as I would have indicated, we have the UE Intercampus Games, which we coordinate in terms of our athlete participation, our sports outreach events, and we do have our in-house activities, one of which being our OC Moves Fitness Challenge, which is geared towards students and staff to help them stay fit. And speaking of which, I think the OC Fit is ongoing right now, which is why Mr. Charlton Ali and Mr. Akim Dewar could not be here because they're facilitating that event for staff and students at the moment. So what you're seeing here is just a pic of our student representation. That is from the UA Student Games in 2017. The following slide, and if you look at the kits are very nice and attractive. I think everybody would want to have one of those. This would have been the, I think, the closing ceremony for the Student Games in 2019 in Mona. And of course, the Open Campus was touted as the most boisterous and most entertaining team there. And I think the picture displays that for you. So this is what we're inviting you to be a part of. Go ahead, complete. Hey, Team OC, Team OC, Team OC, Team OC, Team OC, Team OC, Team OC. Yes, so it is an experience. You don't just come to study. So on the left, my left is the netball team that placed second in the FISU in 2-3 netball league. And you can see now with them is Miss Sherry-Ann Blackburn, who is now the president of the Netball Federation Trinidad and Tobago. And we do have representation from St. Vincent, Trinidad on this team. And from this tournament, many of the, I think 4 or 5 of these girls were called up to national training. So that is something we could all look forward to as well. Next. And this is our football team. They would have placed 3rd in the tertiary football league as well. And again, practice makes perfect. They're coached by both Mr. Ali and Mr. Roger Watts, again, members of the OCAS. And we did speak about outreach. What you see here, we had an outreach activity with the Cricket West Indies team in Antigua. Miss Dana Smith, who is our sport development officer, would have been on hand working with the CWI as we try to set an example and inculcate some of the younger, students, persons from the primary school in Antigua into sport, as well as introducing them to some of the key members of the cricket team, the West Indies female team as well. So, as we have indicated, it's a well-rounded academy. You don't just come to school, you come here for an experience. You learn, you have the theory, you can apply it in practice through being part of our virtual teams, and then you can engage in some of our outreach activities as what you're seeing here. And there's Mr. Watts and Mr. Ali on another outreach activity with some kids. I think that would have been in South Trinidad. And again, this is just our OC moves. We would have indicated that we do have in-house activities. So we offer you everything here. So this is why we tell you, come study with us. Our in-house activities are geared towards staff. We do a number of activities. There's the OC Fit, there's the OC Move, there's the OCBN newsletter that we also produce, all of which get towards trying to give not only staff, but also our students really good experience training with working with us, studying with us, and also enjoying the benefits that come with living a healthy lifestyle as well. So that sums up our presentation on the Open Campus Academy of Sport. And the contact information is there. Should you have any questions, feel free to send an email to ocas@open.ue.edu, and we will get back to you at the soonest. So thank you all again, and we hope to see you soon at the OCAS.
Thank you, Calvin Shaw, for that presentation from OCAS. And of course, you will be around with us for the question and answer segment. I myself have some questions for you, but as Calvin said, you're not just coming to study sport, you can also come and play sport, participate in a number of sporting activities when you become a student at the UWI Open Campus. Well, up next is our prior learning assessment unit, and representing that unit this evening is none other than Dr. Monica Messino. Good evening, Dr. Messino.
Good evening, Dr. Sam.
All right, over to you.
So the presentation should be geared to play. Prior Learning Assessment, PLA. Convert your knowledge into credit. Get your experiential learning assessed today and earn credit for what you already know. So what is prior learning assessment? PLA involves the identification, documentation, assessment, and recognition of competencies, skills, knowledge, and abilities that have been acquired through many means of formal or informal learning. This includes work experience, training, independent study, volunteer activity, travel, and sometimes hobbies. With PLA, someone with college-level learning acquired outside of the classroom can earn credit for that learning through a portfolio assessment. So prior learning assessment at the Open Campus. The Open Campus offers prior learning assessment to prospective learners who can demonstrate their relevant learning, entry into the Open Campus, or for academic credit. Interested learners will enroll in an online prior learning and portfolio development assessment, pass or no pass course. A course instructor works closely with learners to develop a learning portfolio which demonstrates their relevant experiential knowledge and skills. So prior learning assessment, PLA options. The Open Campus offers 2 options for prior learning assessment for those persons who wish to have their learning experiences validated. These are PLA for matriculation and PLA for advanced placement. PLA allows for possible matriculation or admission to the Open Campus, and for those who have already been accepted into the Open Campus and feel their skills and knowledge exceeds the stated learning outcomes of Level 1 courses, may seek PLA for advanced placement into their program of interest. So PLA for matriculation or admission. I wonder what my experiential learning is worth. Would I qualify? So for matriculation for admission, the requirements are you must be at least 18 years of age and have 2 years post-CSET. Possess non-formal, informal, or short-term training in the areas of interest, and demonstrate learning from experience in the subject areas approved for matriculation. So PLA for advanced placement. I was accepted into the university. Can I use my experiential learning for advanced placement in my program? The requirements for advanced placement are you must have been working for 5 years plus, reach the age of 21, have relevant training, workshops in the area of study, and a relevant learning from experience. Hence, you have the opportunity to earn 21 credits for 7 Level 1 courses in 1 semester. So prior learning assessment for matriculation or admission. are linked to the following courses: English, Principles of Accounts, Mathematics, Principles of Business, Information Technology, Social Studies, Integrated Science. For advanced placement, prior learning assessment is linked to BSc Accounting, the BSc Banking and Finance, the BEd Early Childhood Development and Family Studies, the BSc Management Studies, and this is inclusive of all the specializations, the BSc Youth Development Work, and the BSc Sports. Prior Learning Assessment course fee is US $360. The course is offered at 12 weeks and it is fully online. Students create a portfolio based on their general and specific knowledge. That portfolio is assessed and the student earns entry into the open campus or advanced placement in their program. So some of the steps to get started: visit the PLA website today, read through the information provided, listen to the testimonials, select the course for which you would like to put forward for PLA. Remember that you must at least have 50% of your learning should be comparable to the learning outcomes of the courses selected. Complete the PLA pre-advising e-form, and this is for matriculation or advanced placement. Send your detailed CV or resume to the PLA unit for pre-screening. You will be advised if PLA is a good fit and to apply to the university or register for either the PLPD 001 or the PLPD 0100 course. You may be asking yourself, so what are some of the benefits of PLA? You can have your prior knowledge documented, validated, and recognized. You gain access, recognition, and earning credits for what you already know. You save time and money in earning a degree. You can build your self-esteem and grow in confidence. Study online from the comfort of your home, and work and study towards reaching your educational.
Hi, Dr. Messina. I think your mic is muted.
Okay, thank you for the, Dr. Sam. I'm going to hand back over to you, but I ask that if persons have any questions, please feel free to drop me a line. Thank you.
Okay, and of course, you're staying with us for the question and answer segment.
Of course.
Absolutely. All right, thank you so much, Monica. And up next, you're going to hear our final testimonial for the evening, and this comes from a student from the Bahamas who pursued our Doctor of Education Leadership Program, and she's going to tell you why you should become an open campus student come next academic year.
Education systems and schools. I began my studies in 2016, where I had just completed my 2015 studies in human resources at another university. Admittedly, I did not begin my studies at the University of the West Indies. However, after expressing my displeasure and level of dissatisfaction with the rigor and the professionalism and the program at the university where I was at, I was informed about the University of the West Indies. Already turned off from my experiences, I decided, let me check out the University of the West Indies. I did, I enrolled, and I have no regrets, but one, that the University of the West Indies was not my first choice. My dissertation focused on special education with a specific focus on autism spectrum disorder in public schools in the province. The rigor, professionalism, and the standard of the University of the West Indies really related to the challenges and the issues faced in the classroom at the time. I'm very pleased that I enrolled with the University of the West Indies, with the one regret that the University of the West Indies was not my first choice.
All right, so you can be the next Dr. Tanya Ferguson with your Doctor of Education Leadership from the UWI Open Campus, of course, and you can enroll all now as the application deadline, I think, is until the 11th of July. Of course, if you're on Facebook, you can check the comment section and my colleagues are putting in the correct information there for you. All right, so the University of the West Indies Open Campus and Eon Reality, the global leader in augmented reality and virtual reality based knowledge and skills transfer and industry and education, announced a new partnership with the launch of a brand new Eon XR rollout across the Caribbean. Here, Dr. Luz Longsworth, principal of the UWI Open Campus, explains the benefit of this exciting partnership.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Luz Longsworth, Principal and Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies Open Campus, based in Barbados, but with locations in 16 Caribbean countries. We couldn't be happier to be a part of the Eon Reality family and to set up an Eon XR Center in our campus site in Trinidad and Tobago. We see multiple benefits with the deployment of the Eon XR platform for our students, faculty, and community. In particular, we look forward to developing local content, new programs, and new IP. It also gives us a tremendous opportunity to share this content in the Eon Global community and marketplace. We are excited about becoming a part of the Eon Reality's global academic community for remote learning and look forward to the growth and development of this relationship in the future. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Principal Longsworth, and a very exciting initiative led by the Open Campus and Eon Reality for educators and students in the Caribbean. That is the future of education right there, being led by the UWI Open Campus, the leader in online education in the Caribbean. So our viewers, this is your time for your questions, comments, suggestions. We will be taking your questions right now. And if you have any more questions, you can put them in the comment section on Facebook as well as YouTube, and we will be taking those. There are already a few there, so let me go to your question. And I want to say welcome to my other colleagues who are in the Zoom room here for this question and answer segment. And the first question asks, how soon is the selection process after applying for the undergraduate degree program? I know I have some colleagues from the area, so can one of you answer that question for our viewers? How soon is the selection process after applying for the undergraduate degree program? Who's going to take that one? Kino, Belino?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, Kino.
Hearing me clearly, right?
Yes, we're hearing you, Kino.
Right. So in terms of the selection process, this could go up to 2 weeks, but it could happen much sooner. This is all dependent on the submission, how soon you submit your documents. And essentially, sometimes the timing in which you submit these documents, you may catch the processing of offers at the time when you submit, and you just happen to catch that batch. So it can go up to 2 weeks, but it could happen much sooner, as soon as 1 week, right? Or even sooner in some cases. Just the timing would influence this.
Right. And as you said, Kino, how important, can you stress for us how important is the documentation, providing the documentation on time?
Okay, well, the documents is what we would use to assess an applicant's application, right? So once we are doing assessments of application, we would not be able to make any firm decisions as to whether someone could be accepted into the program without these supporting documents, right? And it's important that applicants, that they review the documents that they submit, because we have seen scenarios where persons assume they would have submitted all the required documents, but they may have missed out a critical piece of document, right? So that's how important it is to the assessment and acceptance of applicants.
All right, thank you very much, Kino. And we also have a question coming in from our YouTube viewers, and this really is for our colleagues from APAD. Can you major or minor at the UWI Open Campus? I thought in the presentation I heard about some minor in a particular program. So I want to call on one of my colleagues from APAD to respond to this question. The programs in which you can do minors and majors. Hello? Who's going to take this one?
Yes, Dr. Sam, yes, Cleveland. Yes, you can definitely major and minor in programs. We have a list of programs in our website. So if they go to the website with a list of programs, they will see all the programs which you could major and minor, pursue majors and minors.
Okay, and I would ask one of our colleagues to put that list in the YouTube comment section so that our viewer can see those programs where they can do majors and minors. I think one of them was youth or development work with something else, with management or something like that. I think that's probably what caught our viewers' attention. All right, Kino, maybe this one is for you again, I'm not sure. Is there anything that can be done if you have already started the online application but selected part-time instead of full-time study? Can you tell our viewer how to remedy that situation?
Cleveland, this will be dependent on the level of the program that the applicant is attempting to apply for, right? Depending on this, for example, in the case of it's an undergrad and or a graduate application, because of how the system currently works, I would suggest to the student to complete and submit the application and email the admissions department with the suggested changes, right? You would make the changes to the application in the background, right? But if it is for programs, for example, the CP programs that are 1 year and 2 year, it may be difficult to remedy this on the for the applicant to be able to remedy this, fix this on his own, right? Because sometimes these applications are tied to their email address, and once the system doesn't allow an applicant to submit multiple applications for this at the same program level, right?
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Kino. Let's go to Dr. Massino and PLA, which I think is such an exciting program, Monica. You spoke about the two types of PLA. Can you explain for us again PLA for advanced placement and PLA for matriculation? What is the difference, Dr. Massino?
The PLA for matriculation are for those students or persons interested in furthering their education who may not meet the university requirements for entry. So therefore, you may not have the 5 CSEC, which are required for your program. But through prior learning assessment for matriculation, we can help you work on achieving those CSEC in preparation for entry into the university. PLA for advanced placement, this means that you've already been accepted into your program. However, in looking at your level 1 courses, You may feel that you have the experiential learning and knowledge for maybe 7 of those courses. So rather than you sitting individually for 7 of those courses, you would register for the PLA for advanced placement and put forward those 7 level 1 courses in that one PLA course. The advantage, you're only paying 1 course fee. At the end of the course, if you're successful, you would have earned those 7 courses and 21 credits. So.
Wow. Thank you so much. And are you finding that more and more students are applying for PLA?
More and more students are applying, especially given COVID, where we're at home more often, and some persons have been furloughed, but they use this time, to upgrade and upskill. And if they had, interest in education, they're also using this time to further that education. And PLA allows for that. Again, it's done for the comfort of your own home. There's no need to really leave the home in order to study.
Okay, and I see that someone is interested in our playing sport for the open campus, but they want to know if they can be playing sport first without being a student. Thank you very much, Dr. Messina. Corvin Jean, can you respond to this question?
Sure, Dr. Sam. I think he asked, can you play sport if you're not part of the sports programs? And the answer is yes. As long as you're a registered student of the UWI Open Campus, you are eligible to be on any one of our teams, especially when it comes to the UE games. So it's open to all students.
Okay, great. And sticking with you, the Corvin and the Open Campus Academy of Sport, I want to spend a little time on the sport broadcasting workshop. Can you give us some details about that? Who is the target of this workshop?
For the sport broadcasting workshop, we're targeting individuals who work in sport broadcasting, so journalists or other media personnel, but it also targets individuals who may have an interest in pursuing a career in sport broadcasting. We have 2 very seasoned commentators. We have Alan Wilkins, who is an international commentator, as well as Darren Ganga, project officer of the Faculty of Sport as well, an international cricket broadcaster. They are the ones facilitating the workshop. So it's a very robust professional development workshop. We're entering the 2nd cohort. And again, if you are in media, especially sport media, and you are interested in pursuing a career in sports broadcasting, then this professional development workshop is for you.
Right, you did mention that this is the 2nd cohort that we are accepting application for now. How was the first workshop last year?
The first workshop was great. I think we had 12 participants, all of which gave outstanding reviews in terms of the mix of theory and practical. The participants would have indicated that they learned a lot, and so a lot of them, in fact, one of those individuals who was part of the first cohort ended up being a broadcaster with Darren Ganga during one of the recently concluded cricket tournaments. I think it was either the CPL, and it was an amazing experience. And those individuals would have given testimonials, and I think would make those available next time. So it was honestly awesome. What the individuals liked the most was the fact that it wasn't only a class or basically a virtual presentation. They were encouraged, and there was the practical component where they actually had to sit and broadcast a live event, assess broadcasting of live events, and have that general integration and hands-on application. So it was very good coming from the mouths of those individuals who participated in the first cohort.
All right, and what's the deadline for application for this cohort, for the start of this one?
The deadline for application would be, I think, the 18th, which is the Friday before the course.
Right, this is this Friday.
Right, so this Friday, so individuals have their chance now to apply. If you need information, again, it's on our website, and you could also send an email to ocas at dec.ue.edu for additional information.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Corvin. I want to bring back in my colleagues from APHAD as well as RAR. the documentation that is necessary to support the application. I know, Nicole, you outlined those in your presentation, but just for the benefit of our viewers and those who may be joining us at this point, Kino or Nicole, can you rehash for us what are the pieces of documentations that are necessary to complete the application?
Okay, I'll take that. So in terms of the supporting documents required, the applicants will be required to submit one, the signed application receipt with a passport size picture. And this application receipt it comes like a summary page that you can download and print on submission of your online application. Two, a proof of identity. This could either be a birth certificate, valid passport, national ID card, of that sort, right? A marriage certificate, if applicable. Academic certificates. This could include your CXC/CSEC exam results, CAPE, GCE, O-levels, any academic qualifications that you would have attained, right? That would assist in the assessment of your application. As it relates to official transcript, this is generally applicable to the graduate applicants, and this is to be sent directly from the granting institution, right? And it's not applicable to UWI graduates. Considering the COVID-19 pandemic, what we would have suggested to applicants is that they get their granting institution to submit these official transcripts directly to our graduate@open.ue.edu email address, considering the challenges in some territories in terms of moving around, right? There are 2 referee reports. This is required for postgraduate applicants again, as well as the 7th item here is the test of English as a foreign language, right? And this is only applicable to applicants whose native language is not English, right? And a score of 500 or greater is preferred for this, right? So that, in essence, concludes what the supporting documents are required in it, to be able to assess applications.
Okay, great. And for my colleagues from the Virtual International Student Office, for those students for whom English is not the first language, how soon do they have to take this test? Good evening to my colleagues from the VSO. Are you there with us, Ingrid or Alicia? No? Kino, are you aware of how soon or how long they need to take the English test before the application process is completed?
Actually, Cleveland, no, I don't. In my 12 to 13 years at Open Campus, I have not had come across an application in that regard.
Okay, no worries. I know some of my colleagues should be on from the student services, but I'm not seeing them. So we will move on. There's another question. I'm sure this is very easy for you to answer. What stipulations decide whether you're accepted into a program or not? Example, level of prior passes or first come, first serve. Kino, in terms of the requirements, or my colleagues from APAD, in fact, may be able to answer this as well. The requirements for entry for various programs. I suspect at the undergraduate level, we're looking at CSEC subjects and CAPE.
Yes, once you have the matriculation, you should be able to gain entry into our programs and courses.
Right, I think the student was trying to figure out what that matriculation is. So for example, for undergraduate programs, what are the requirements, number of CSEC or CAPE passes?
Sure, 1 second. Normally it would be GCE, CSEC courses and 5 CSEC courses at the general level, or GCE O level will be acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah. and you must have English and math.
Okay, great. There you go. So it has nothing to do with first come, first serve. Right? You need to meet the matriculation requirements. And generally, as my colleague is saying, this is 5 CSEC or 5 GCE O-level courses. And of course, if you have CAPE, then you can also look at exemptions. I saw a question earlier. I'm told that it was answered on the platform, but for the benefit of those who are viewing and not necessarily reading what is going on the YouTube or Facebook chat, this person wanted to know, I want to apply for the Early Childhood and Family Studies undergraduate scholarship. How do I apply? I think this relates to the OAS scholarship. I'm not sure which of my colleagues can take this question. The OAS undergraduate scholarship as it relates to the Early Childhood and Family Studies program.
Hi, Cleveland. What I could say on that is that that information is available via, I think it's a flyer that the Charlotte who heads that initiative. And if I could get details or the person's contact, I could provide information on this. I don't have it at hand, but it could be provided. And I think a link was provided to that person in terms of it. But any further details, the person once the person emails me or I get the information, I could get this information to that person.
Okay, thank you very much. And as you said, Kino, I am looking at the Facebook page, and the flyer is in fact on the Facebook page as it relates to the scholarship offered by the Organization of American States for Early Childhood Development and Family Studies. Yes, sorry, one of my other colleagues was about to make a comment. No?
Cleveland?
Yes.
Just to mention on the question about the matriculation requirements, what I could see considering the various entry routes outside of the what we would consider the normal matriculation levels,
Right.
I would recommend that persons who are interested in applying that they apply. So, for example, if you do not meet the normal or the lower level matriculation requirements, there are other routes that we could channel these prospective students through, which is, for example, this PLA for matriculation, which Dr. Messina would have presented on, right? So don't let not having the normal matriculation requirements hamper you from applying, right?
Thanks for that, Kino. I'm not sure if my colleague Alicia is there, but we have a question about the English proficiency test that someone is asking for additional information. Can someone from the Virtual International Student Office respond to that question for us? Or Student Services? Hello.
I may have to take this Cleveland as well.
Okay, go ahead, Kino. I thought my colleague Alicia Walters Archie was on the call. Or Ingrid from the VSO. VISO. All right, go ahead, Kino.
Okay, so the English language proficiency test. This is a requirement for any applicant who does not possess a 1 in CXC English A, a 1 or 2 in CAPE communication studies at the CAPE level. There are other English courses that are defined on the website that I would provide a link for that outlines the persons who once you have these passes in these areas, would not be required to take the English proficiency test. But essentially, any applicant who is in a program where they are required to do the course for FOUND 1001, they are required to take the LPT test as a requirement, as a prerequisite requirement. Should they have any one of the listed qualifications in English A at the CFT level, or 1 and 2 at the CAPE level, they would be exempted from doing the LPT test, right? And would be still be allowed to register for Form 1001 when they actually commence their program, right? But details, there are other subjects that persons could have that would exempt them from doing the LPT that are listed in the web page as it relates to the LPT, that I will provide the link for the YouTube channel and the other channels that we are streaming.
Thank you very much, Kino. And for my APAD colleague, another question, is there a maximum number of programs? Well, I think they meant courses that you can do during a semester.
Yes, we normally like to keep it at around 3 courses per semester, but depending on your particular circumstances, sometimes we make allowances to go a little higher.
All right, so there's flexibility. All right, thank you so much. Let me just check if there's any other questions. Okay, from our YouTube, can the certificate in business management be used to get into the Bachelor of Law program? Any of my colleagues in APAD or AREA aware of this? Are you aware of this? Where you can use a certificate?
We don't have a Bachelor of Law degree in the open campus. I'm not too sure if she's saying if she uses that to go to another institution.
I think this is related to the certificate in business that's offered at sites in Trinidad. And I think that it has been said that they can get into the Bachelor of Law at St. Augustine. So I think that's what this may be about, quite possibly. All right.
I'm not too sure. That's something we maybe can get back to her with. If we
right, so
we can get back to her on that.
There you go. And we can also ask our colleagues at the OCASTT if they can just respond to this on the YouTube comments section. All right, I think that is it in terms of our questions from social media. And if we can just have a repeat of the deadlines that are coming up in July from Kino in admissions. What are the deadlines for application? Kino or Camille?
Apologies, I was trying to find my mic. All right.
No problem.
So the deadline for the acceptance of undergraduate applications would be July the 16th.
July 16th.
Yes, and the deadline for postgraduate applications would be July 11th.
Okay, thank you very much. July 16th for undergrad and July 11th for postgraduate. All right, I'm just searching to see if we have any other questions that have not been answered. And I think we have answered all of them. So I'm just gonna give my presenters, Nicole, some final words for you, for our viewers.
Thank you, Cleveland. So if you've never completed an online course at an accredited university, then consider signing up for a course or program at the UWI Open Campus. Now, even if your internet access is limited, then know that our learning platform allows you to access course content on and offline. If you've completed a course with us already or a program, then do like the cohort that's coming in next week and find out what other professional development opportunities and short courses we offer. Okay, so they're coming in to participate in a third module. Now, our fees are very reasonable, and all facilitators are qualified, experienced, and student-centered, and we provide a truly engaging, meaningful, authentic learning experience. If you have any questions, enter it in the chat or email us at apad@open.ue.edu. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and feel free to follow up with questions and to visit our website.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for that wrap. I'm going to give my colleague Corvin Jean 30 seconds as well to encourage persons to sign up for the sports courses as well as the sport broadcasting workshop. Corvin?
Thank you, Dr. Sam. I just want to encourage individuals, especially those individuals who are involved in sport, not only players, but administrators. We in the Caribbean, we are on the cusp of new industry. Yes, it's in its seething stage, but it has potential, and we have seen that there are great benefits to be derived from it. And the onus is on you to put yourself in a position where you are poised to take the leadership in this industry. And in choosing the open campus, where you can study at your leisure at home and participating in either one of the sports degrees, BSc Sports Coaching, BSc Sports Kinetics, Sport Leadership and Management, and BSc Sport and Physical Literacy, puts you as a forefront runner in terms of managing the development of sport in the region. So as the local parlance goes, don't sleep on you. Take advantage of this opportunity. You have until the 11th to apply for these programs. We also have the sport broadcasting, which is a professional development certificate workshop. And that is going to be, the deadline for that is Friday coming. So please don't sleep on you. Take advantage of the opportunity, because a few years down the line, you could be the one to say, hey, when we're having another fair and we have testimonials, you could be the one saying how much pursuing a degree in sport has done for you. So thank you, Dr. Sam, and everybody else. I wish you a pleasant good night.
All right, thank you very much, Corvin, for that from the Open Campus Academy of Sport. And I have some additional information thanks to Ilya Grant Fraser for the person who asked about the OAS scholarship. So there is a full flyer brochure on our website, and there's also all the relevant information is also at www.oas.org/announcements. So you can go there and find the information. In addition to that, if you go to the Open Campus Facebook page, you can also scroll down, and the flyer as well as the link to the application form, they are also on the Open Campus page. So thank you so much to all of my colleagues who presented this evening. And thank you to our viewers on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. And a special thanks to my technical team, David Foster, Cherise Glasgow, Richard Bath, Patrick Johnson, Louis Boxell, Marcia Reed, and Cherise Glasgow. Did I say Cherise? Yes, Cherise Glasgow. I want to say thank you to everyone. And once again, thank you for viewing. We'll see you next time here at the Open Campus social media platforms. Until then, I'm Cleveland Sam. Have a good evening.